Hey up, it's Steve from the Old Yorkshire Geek, and it's time for my Wednesday, my midweek live news stream. Some interesting stories to look at this week. But before we start, don't forget, like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you subscribed already. Move my microphone a bit closer. We're live on YouTube. Let me double check all this stuff. Make sure we are live. Yes, we're live on YouTube. We're live on Rumble. He says, refreshing it. Got to refresh it and got to press play. Come on, Rumble, sort yourself out. Yes, we're live on Rumble and we're live on Twitch. Yay! Right, so just let me share that bugger. The Twitch. I know I say it every time. Don't let you share it till you're actually streaming. Ooh, what was that? Right. Right, off we go. Where were I? All right, yes. So we're live on those. Yes, Windgrace is here. News. And what else we're going to say? I've forgotten. All right, yes. I'll be uploading it to Spotify, Amazon Music Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. Links for all the stories in the description. And later on, I'll put timestamps in, blah, 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 etc. Right, let's just get on with it, shall we? Let's just get on with it. I'll make myself titty tiny. Did it. And F11, that baby. There we go. Right, off we go. By the way, there you go. Breaking news. I don't know if it is. SAG-AFTRA talks to resume Wednesday. So it's probably not breaking news anymore. This might be from yesterday. Hang on, let me just refresh this page. Yeah, F5. Yes, that's refreshing it. Oh no, there's no breaking news now. Anyway, right. James Wan, or is it Wan? Whatever. Plays down Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom reshoots claims. And there's James Wan. And there's Aquaman. And what's her face? Mira. That's Mage Frey, that mysterious man on Twitch. He's there. Aquaman, man. He's a man. Right, James Wan has been trying to bring Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. It's Aquaman, isn't it? So it's not. He does Aquamon. Anyway, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom back to calmer waters. One has already addressed rumors Amber Heard's role superhero flick in the superhero flick, God, deadline, was reduced and has now responded to further noise around the production. The director told Empire, at the magazine, that reports over reshoots didn't capture the real picture of events on set. We probably did 7 or 8 days of reshoots, which is nothing for a movie of this size, said one. It was just spread out because it's so hard to get your actors back once you've finished the initial shoot. It shouldn't because they're contracted, are they? How hard can it be? Anyway, one added he had built an entire franchise from a reshoot in relation to The Nun, which benefited from last-minute additional photography. The Nun wasn't very good. The Nun 2, though, I actually quite enjoyed. I wasn't a big fan of the first one, but the second one were fun, and it were really nicely shot. Anyway, I'm not the kind of person that says this movie has to turn out exactly how I planned it day one. Your art will never be organic if you're locked into that mentality. However, one did admit he needs to be more zen in dealing with all the noise around me in relation to stories that emerge about productions. I'm a pretty private person, he added. I don't get on social media and have fights. Well, good for you. But it's difficult because this narrative has emerged that it is not the reality. The noise is fun to write about and it gets clicks. But people don't know the truth. The first Aquaman pick was a major hit for DC, grossing over $1 billion at the box office. And it was fun. I thought it was fun and colourful and bonkers. It was mental, wasn't it? And installing star Jason Momoa as a genuine leading man. However, stories about reshoots and studio interference have plagued the sequel in the midst of delays. Look, I'm a collaborative filmmaker. I welcome people's thoughts and opinions, but ultimately, I feel I have more than proven myself. So it was like, this is the movie I want to make, one told Empire. Elsewhere in the interview, one said he was open to directing a third installment of the Aquaman franchise. Although he noted he was not sure what direction DC studio co-chiefs Peter Safran and James Gunn wanted to take it. Not in the Aquaman direction. I've learned to never say never, added one, which is true. You never say never in Hollywood. Comments. He's a bad liar, says Ryan. Just ask the crew who were part of the Turkey reshoots. There's not going to be an Aquaman 3, says Anonymous. Have they got a Guy Fawkes mask on? Anyway, yeah, whatever. So there we go. Like I said, there's always reshoots on film. There's a difference between like pickups and reshoots. All films have pickup shots and stuff like that. And I suppose all films have a certain amount of reshoots. But when reshoots drag on for weeks and weeks, then something's up, innit? So, but anyway, so there we go. So I'll not be going to see that. There's a turkey in the movie. Sweet. Yes, I don't know what they meant when they said that. Turkey reshoot. Maybe they were in Turkey. I don't know. Someplace I've never been, but my sister has. Brian's. Right, let's move on. Because to be completely honest, I'm not that interested in Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. To be completely bulls pizzled frank about it. I'm mildly interested in this next story, though, because I've played the original. We're gaming, because I'm something of a gamer myself. Star Wars Dark Forces Remaster finally has a release date, and it's coming up fast. In a galaxy not that far away, and there's a screenshot. There's finally a release date for the upcoming Star Wars Dark Forces Remaster, and fans will be happy to know that it's not that far away. We can finally get our hands on the Star Wars Dark Forces Remaster on February 28th, 2024, and it will be playable on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC. While this may seem like a long way away, not really. Those 4 months are sure to fly by thanks to all the upcoming games that are releasing soon, such as Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 and Alan Wake 2. Very good. I once tried playing Alan Wake, the first one, and I didn't get very far. I'm not a big fan of that. And I haven't played Call of Duty for ages. But I got a game for myself today for Christmas. I've put it away. I'm not going to play it till Christmas. I got Assassin's Creed Mirage because it were on offer in the supermarket. So there we go. So I bought that for myself. Right. This classic Star Wars first-person shooter. I love Alan Wake. Oh, right. I'd say I couldn't really get into it, to be completely honest. It's to stay in the light, isn't it? All the monsters will get him and stuff like that. And it would do me head in. Maybe I should look at it again, because maybe I'm a bit better at games now. Maybe, I don't know. Or maybe I'm worse. I don't know. This classic Star Wars first-person shooter is set at the height of the Empire's power. You play the defector of the Galactic Empire, Kyle Katarn, who joins the Rebel Alliance's Covert Operations Division and is tasked with infiltrating the Empire. Here he discovers the Dark Trooper project. After this, you must race against the clock to put an end to this plan for terror and domination. Hang on, here we go. Especially the fake Twilight Zone on TV throughout the game. All right, that's that. Maybe I'll give it a go. I think I've got it somewhere. Maybe. I'll have to have a look, see if I've still got it. We sold a lot of games. We eBayed them. So I might not have it anymore. But it could be. I've got a load of games over there for the 360. It could be over there. Maybe I'll give it another shot on my Xbox One. Anyway, where were we? This much-loved shooter was first released in 1995, meaning it will arrive to fans almost 30 years after it first sat on shelves. This arrival also brings more than just the thrilling story and action. Star Wars Dark Forces Remaster can run on modern gaming systems with up to 4K resolution, up to 120 frames per second. I presume that stands for FPS. I'm something of a gamer. Hang on, where are we? The remaster came out last autumn. Could try that one maybe. It'll be on the PS5 store, I imagine, won't it? I'll see if it's part of the PS. what do they call it? PS Plus Premium. See if it's in there, you know, to download for free. I'll have to have a look. I'll have to have a look. Or it could be on the Xbox. I've still got the Xbox Game Pass until November for free, which came with my computer. So it may be on there somewhere. Anyway, I'll have a look. Where were we? There's also advanced 3D rendering, which enables updated lighting and atmospheric effects according to the official Steam page, along with the immersive environmental puzzles. There will also be controller support with vibration and gyro controls. So I've got the original for the PS1. Wonder if it's worth anything. Anyway, all in all, it looks like there's a lot to be excited about for the grand return of Star Wars. Of Star Wars Dark Forces remaster. But for the time being, we'll just have to wait and see if it lives up to expectations. Well, if it's a success, then they can go and remaster Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2, can't they? Because that's amazing. Josh Temple's here. What's up, everyone? Well, the sky. That's what you're supposed to say, isn't it? Welcome to the show. Oh, hang on. Where are we? Where is it? Where have I put it? Can't find it. There we go. Speaking of Def Leppard, I bought a Def Leppard t-shirt today. They were in the supermarket as well. Spent a lot in the supermarket today. I bought a game. I bought a Def Leppard t-shirt. I bought some I call them happy trousers. I don't know. Yeah, like lounge pants with the Mandalorian and Baby Yoda on. And anyway, what else did I get? And some bread. Right. Is that it? Are we done? Yes. So what was I saying? Oh yes, they want to remaster Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2 because that's an amazing game. I love that game. Even better, well, a lot better than Dark Forces. With the proper live action cutscenes with Chris. Oh, I can never remember his bloody name. He was in Dracula AD 1972. So you're gonna have to look it up now. Gonna have to look it up now. I can never remember. He's been in Star Trek as well. Dracula AD 1972 cast. Oh, Christopher Neame as the baddie in that. The sky. I heard a colourful version when I was younger. Oh, right. A more colourful version when he was younger. Probably knowing you, it'll be something dirty. Anyway, right, let's move on. What's next? We shall see. Oh, this is next. Right. Bit of horror. New horror movie from Doctor Who and Lord of the Rings stars debuts to perfect Rotten Tomatoes scores. Tomatoes. Let's call the whole thing off. Doctor Who and the Rings of Power's Galadriel, team up for David Kokotalio's, apologies to him, folk horror flick Starve Acre. And there's Matt Smith. In a hole somewhere. Critics are loving Starve Acre, the upcoming folk horror starring Doctor Who's Matt Smith and Lord of the Rings of Power's Morfydd Clark. Well, I think he's really pretty. I do think she's really pretty. And she was good in forgot the name of the film. St. Maud. She was good in that. Anyway, so much so in fact that the movie has earned a perfect score on Rotten Tomatoes. Written and directed by David Kokotalio, who adapted the tale from Andrew Michael Hurley's novel. The flick centres on Richard and Juliet, a young couple whose lives start to unravel after they ditch their city lives and move into the former's titular childhood home. Is that what that was? Right. So the place where they're living is called Starve Acre. I had to change the name. But, I suppose you've got to call them creepy names like Eel Marsh House in The Woman in Black and stuff like that, haven't you? Anyway, I forgot where I want now. Oh, there we go. Unbeknownst to his wife, but knownst to us. It's a Spaceballs reference. Richard's memories of Starvaker are not happy ones, and it soon becomes clear that he's haunted by the constant reminders of his abusive father. But it's not until the family experience a terrible tragedy that things really take a turn. And then there's something going on there, like Dad's Army or something. Robert M's Erin Richards. Oh, I know Erin Richards. She was in Gotham, wasn't she? She played Barbara Gordon, didn't she, in Gotham? Who went on to become, started off a goodie and then went mental, didn't she, and became a baddie. Yes, I like Erin Richards. And Roger Barkley round out the supporting cast. Variety's Guy Lodge describes it as a formidably freaky. Describes it as formidably freaky in his review, while Sci-Fi Now's Catherine McLaughlin says it's chilling and atmospheric. Starvaker is a satisfying addition to the growing crop of English folk horror narratives that venture past the edges of magic realism, entering into a wild realm that lies, just beyond our waking vision, writes art fusers Peg Alloy. Is that a real name? Maybe it is. Peg Alloy. Sounds like something you shout, doesn't it? Anyway. This 1970s set folk horror, unnervingly scored by Matthew Herbert. So it's going to be a lot discordant and noises and probably a lot of humming and thrumming and stuff to put you on edge. Probably. Unearths something primeval and toxic at the very roots of a once and perhaps again happy family, says Sight and Sounds Anton Bittel. So I thought I'd cut myself. So I thought I felt something running down my face. Sorry. Thought I'd scratch myself. You know, you sometimes do. Smith and Clark, at the head of a very capable supporting cast, keep the movie on an even dramatic keel with intelligent, thought-through performances, putting life back into some familiar tropes, explains The Guardian's Peter Bradshaw. Is there a trailer? I'll have to have a look for a trailer. Elsewhere, Screen International's Jonathan Romney gushers, perfectionist direction and subtly unsettling mood give a bespoke edge to what would otherwise come perilously close to being a gothic, shaggy dog story, although a dog is not the beast at issue here. So there's a beast in it. Phantom scratches, yes. Hope they're not in threes. It's a demon. Starvaker was yet to pin down an official release date, but we'll be sure to keep you posted. For more, check out blah, 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 blah. That sounds interesting. I'm going to have a look, see if there's a trailer. So just bear with me. I'll get rid of that. Let's have a look, see if there's a trailer for us to have a look at. Starvaker trailer. Yes, there is. Right. Okay. Oh. I haven't started yet. Right, we'll watch the trailer. Sod it. Sod it. I'll mute my microphone as well.
सो गाइस फाइनली वेलकम बैक टू अनदर वीडियो। जो भी आपने देखा है तो एक सिर्फ फैन मेड ट्रेलर था।
Unbelievable fan-made trailer. I thought one shot of it, I thought that looks like from St. Maud. Fan-made trailer. Says the official trailer at top there. Bloody. I got angry then. Is this the actual trailer? Right, let's try this one. No, it isn't. Obviously, there's not a trailer. Sodom. Got me mad up then. Bloody YouTube people. Being dishonest. Being dishonest. Matt's hair was wrong too. Yeah, I thought, what's going on here? It were all over the place, really, wasn't it? We're all over the place. Anyway, whatever. Now let's move on. Speaking of Matt Smith, let's move on to Doctor Who. Right. I'm actually 2 stories here. I won't do the first one. The first one, I've still got the link in the description. Said Doctor Who fans think they've worked out the 60th anniversary air dates. I looked at the article, and they kind of worked it out, but they'd covered themselves. But the actual proper air date has come out now, so we'll look at that one instead. Pressing the wrong button. I hope F9 doesn't do anything, but I pressed it. Right. Doctor Who first look as 60th anniversary specials get air dates. Does this tell us? Is this just what we've seen? I'm going to play this one.
Sometimes I think there's something missing. Like I had something lovely. And it's gone. I lie in bed thinking, what have I lost?
I've got this friend called Donna Noble. I had to wipe her memory to save her life. If she remembers me, she will die. So what happens next? The spaceship crashes right in front of her. It's like she's drawing us in.
What the hell? We've got a bloody Martian in the shed! Don't look! Me.
Oh, here we go again. I don't believe in destiny, but if destiny exists, then it is heading for Donna Noble. And I've got a memory. After a very long time, something's coming back.
Who are they?
Monsters.
There's something so bad the TARDIS ran away.
Yes.
We go and kick its ass!
Kate Lethbridge Stewart! What do we do this time, Doctor? How do we fight the human race?
Something entered this world.
Oh, but he is recognizing me. Who is he?
The one who waits.
Open fire!
Why does it have to be this?
Your fight is with me!
I don't know if I can save your life this time.
Worldwide premiere!
No, that was just the regular trailer, wasn't it? Never mind. Right. I thought it might show the dates on that, but it didn't. But it looks good. Josh, stop it. I'm looking forward to that. I like Catherine Tate. She makes me laugh. Right. The BBC has, by the way, Doctor Who spoilers follow. The BBC has confirmed the air date for Doctor Who's 60th anniversary specials. David Tennant returns as the 14th Doctor. 10th again. In 3 all-new special episodes from showrunner Russell T Davies, airing this November, where Tennant will reunite with former co-star Catherine Tate as companion Donna Temple Noble. A first look at these new episodes sees the Doctor, Donna, and the mysterious Rose, Yasmin Finney, confronted by the alien race known as the Wrath Warriors, trying to protect the cuddly Beep the Meep, voiced by Miriam Margolis. But are they supposed to be the baddies? Are they supposed to be the beasts? Monsters? I don't know. All the excitement kicks off. Sorry, spoilers. I might be wrong. All the excitement kicks off on Saturday, November the 25th, with the Star Beast, as the Doctor and Donna are drawn back together through some mysterious cosmic forces. And there's a bit of promotional artwork, which looks cool. 2 more episodes will air on the ensuing Saturdays, Wild Blue Yonder on December 2nd and The Giggle on December 9th. These 3 specials will be followed by a bonus episode for Christmas. Yay, Christmas specials back. Neil Patrick Harris will be joining Doctor Who for the anniversary specials as a new incarnation of the Toymaker, a villain who last appeared all the way back in 1966. Ooh, pardon me. Portrayed by Michael Gough. Not that I knew, I just, I saw it somewhere else. I haven't seen the episode. Gemma Redgrave reprises her role. By the way, speaking of Unit, isn't it good how Unit's got its own now? It's got its own Avengers Tower now, hasn't it? It's exactly like the Avengers Tower, doesn't it? Anyway, Gemma Redgrave reprises her role as Unit boss Kate Stewart, the daughter. I think she was the daughter, wasn't she, of Alistair Lethbridge Stewart of the Brigadier. Alongside the final appearance of the late Bernard Cribbins as Donna's grandfather, Wilfred Mott. And there's Neil Patrick Harris as the Toymaker. Former BBC Radio 1 Newsbeat presenter Stephen Powell has been on set throughout production to give fans a behind-the-scenes look at the anniversary specials for the brand new spin-off show Doctor Who Unleashed. Doctor Who return, blah, 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 blah. Let me know that. So mark your calendars, November 25th for the Star Beast, and then obviously weekly after that, the Saturdays after. So I'm looking forward to that. From the trailer, it looks really, really good, and I hope it is. But it looks a lot of fun. Oh, they've even got the word there. Look, Allons-y. I don't even know what that means. What does it mean? I'm going to look it up. But before I look it up, Win Grace will tell me. Allons-y meaning. It means let's go. That's what it's French. It's French. Right, okay. See, oh no. Doctor Who Unleashed sounds like the Popcast channel about Doctor Who. It does, doesn't it? Yes. Yes, it does. I wonder if they've had to pay the Brian and Shane some money for use of the word unleashed. But anyway, so looks fun. I'm looking forward to that one. I can't wait. Actually, I'm actually quite excited, which is wrong because it means I'm building my hopes up, and they could be dashed because it might be rubbish. But I can't help myself. Right, let's move on. F11. I'm on the wrong bloody window. Wrong screen even. Where were we? Star Wars next. By the way, we're on the Daily Mail, the Mail Online website, which is like chock-a-block full of adverts. It's terrible. Anyway, but what can we do? Right, Shawn, hang on. I don't remember last time I was excited about a new Doctor Who. Maybe before Capaldi was cast. Yeah. Yeah. I've never been super excited about Doctor Who. But this has got me, because the trailer's a good trailer, and it's got me juices flowing. But anyway. Right. Excuse me. Right, Shawn, is it Shawn Levy or Levy? I'll say Levy. Shawn Levy teases his highly anticipated Star Wars movie, though insists it's still early in development, but won't confirm nor deny it will feature Adam Driver's Kylo Ren. I've seen this in a few, news stories about him not denying that it's got. Why would it have Kylo Ren in it? I don't know. Does Shawn Levy, has he worked, or Levy, how do you pronounce it? Has he worked with Adam Driver before? I don't know, you see. So maybe the article will explain. Let's read on. Director Shawn Levy has been doing press for his Netflix series All the Light We Cannot See, and he recently teased his highly anticipated Star Wars movie. Well, highly anticipated, no bugger knew about it. The 55-year-old filmmaker, who recently wouldn't confirm nor deny rumours of Taylor Swift's casting in Deadpool 3, signed on in November 2022 to direct a Star Wars movie after he completes work on Deadpool 3 and the final season of Stranger Things. While it's been nearly a year since he signed on, very little is known about the project, though he revealed to Variety that he felt very empowered. Which means it's going to be rubbish. When Kathy Kennedy, definitely going to be rubbish if she's calling her Kathy. When Kathy Kennedy brought me on board to make a Star Wars movie, in quotes, a Star Wars movie. Her central mandate to me was, I want a Shawn Levy movie. I want a story and a tone that reflects you and your taste and what you bring to your movies with a Star Wars story, Levy began. He added, so I have felt extremely empowered. We are in early days. This is the trouble with Kathleen Kennedy, because she's supposed to be the driving force now, isn't she, of Star Wars, because she's the chairman of person, whatever, of Lucasfilm, president, whatever. And she's just telling them to do what they want, essentially, and hoping they make a good film. Anyway, he added, so I felt extremely empowered. We're in early days, unfortunately, because the development process was abruptly paused due to the WGA strike. So I feel very empowered to trust my instincts. I can speak. To trust my instincts in the development of this story and movie. And I presume that's Adam Levy. However, he looks a bit of a scrawny bugger, doesn't he? I could take him. He's currently working on the highly anticipated Marvel sequel Deadpool 3, which will be the first R-rated movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Excuse me. When asked if Deadpool 3 has been good practice for his Star Wars movie, Levy said, the experience that I'm currently having with Marvel on Deadpool is showing me firsthand that it is indeed really possible to feel empowered and personal about making a movie within a universe that is bigger than any one film. My Deadpool movie is turning out to be exactly what Ryan Reynolds and I had hoped when we started off, he added. So I'm going into the development of my Star Wars movie with a similar optimism and faith that my instincts will be allowed to lead the way. Levy continued. The interviewer mentioned that Levy was close with Adam Driver, who played the villainous Kylo Ren in the Star Wars prequel trilogy. When asked if his movie could be a prequel to Star Wars Episode 7 The Force Awakens, which shows what led Kylo Ren down his dark path, Levy playfully dodged the question. Your words, not mine. As you know, Adam is a buddy, and I've always been a huge fan of Kylo Ren, but no comment, Levy said. He also serves as an executive producer and director on Stranger Things, probably where I've seen his name. Though he wouldn't comment on how important the fifth and final season has been for Netflix as strike talks with SAG-AFTRA continue. And there's Deadpool. And there's Deadpool again. And there's Ryan Reynolds and Shawn Levy. I can't speak. Oh, hang on. Just Temple's saying something. Just Temple says, not sure I can give the new Doctor Who, old Doctor Who, is worth watching. I can't give them any space for messing it up with Doctor and selling me either. So we'll wait for reviews before I give it a chance. Well, that's up to you. But I'm excited for it. I think it looks good. But it's probably best not to build your hopes up into it. Sorry, that was a mess. It was fine. But yeah, you're probably right not to build your hopes up. But sometimes I can't help myself. I did the same with Star Trek 2009. I saw the trailers for it. I thought, wow, that looks amazing. I can't wait to see it. And I rushed out and was sorely disappointed. So I tried to keep my expectations low. But I'm not doing for this Doctor Who because it actually looks quite good. Anyway, where were we? I can't speak to how important Stranger Things is to Netflix in the strike talks, and I am not inclined to speak on their behalf, Levy began. I can say with confidence, I think every actor, director, producer, writer, and crew member want to get back to work, Levy insisted. I think that Stranger Things is a true flag-bearing franchise for Netflix's brand. It's one of the few series that's got past 3 seasons, isn't it? And everyone there is also hungry to make the next season, he said. However, none of that can happen unless there is a fair and equitable deal made. I'm saying a small prayer that I will already be back at work once this piece runs. Yeah, is that it? Yes, that's it. That's it. So there we go. So let's say he's making a Star Wars film, highly anticipated, even though no bugger knew about it. I'm cautiously optimistic. It's been a decade since I really enjoyed the show. Yeah, that's how I fell out with Doctor Who. Sorry for going back to Doctor Who. So it still feels as though I've scratched myself or something there. But, never mind. I fell out with it after it's like midway through Peter Capaldi's run. It was when it started getting, the W word, woke. But it started getting too messagey, and little bits of it that were okay. But then I didn't like what's the face, Joe. I forgot her name now. Jodie Whittaker. Is that right? Doesn't sound right when I said it. Jodie Whittaker. I didn't like her as the Doctor. But I gave it a chance. I watched the first couple of episodes, saw the first one, and then the next one, the Spiders in the UK or something, whatever they called it. And I thought, never mind. Then I didn't watch any after that. Right. So anyway, back to Star Wars. He's doing a Star Wars film. He's not saying what it's about, and he's not denying or confirming that Adam Driver will be in it. I bet he is. But anyway, but we don't know what it's about. So how could it be highly anticipated if nobody knows what it's about? Anyway, let me remove that. Wingate says, I feel it started to decline mid Matt Smith and then plummeted during Capaldi, even though I loved his Doctor. Maybe so. But like I say, I properly fell out with it like halfway through ish Capaldi's run. But it never, I think even during the Matt Smith era, it never like reached the heights of the David Tennant era. And David Tennant were head and shoulders above all the other, new Doctors, in my opinion. Anyway, it might be the best person to ever play the Doctor in the worst stories. Let's say he's a good actor, Peter Capaldi. No denying that. Capaldi was good. The stories got off, but it was horrible under Jodie. Yes, it was indeed. And hopefully it'll be good again because they've got David Tennant back, and hopefully they'll rewind the I forgot what they called it now, where the retconned the Doctor's origins, didn't they? William Hartnell wasn't the first Doctor. Yes, he was. Anyway, let's move on. Sticking with Star Wars. Actually, we're sticking with Star Wars for the next couple of stories. Actually, they're both about. What's happened there? Something's just gone off. Oh, because I pressed a button. What did I press that for? Don't know. Anyway, here we go. Han Solo was supposed to die in a different movie, not Force Awakens, and obviously you can tell it's Return of the Jedi was supposed to die in. Apparently. Right, here's something that will come as no surprise. It was supposed to die, really, in the end of Empire Strikes Back, wasn't it? They did that so they could kind of, if he didn't want to come back or they couldn't talk him into coming back for Return of the Jedi, they could have said, "Oh, he died" or whatever. But he came back. I know he was contractually supposed to, but I think they were covering the bases. Hang on, let me remove this a minute. I'll get back to this. Because Windgrace is saying, I bowed out after Spyfall. Can't remember that one. And only watched again when Jack came back and then the last Regeneration special. I didn't even watch them, to be honest. And Josh says, I just don't want them to mess up David as a Doctor. They rewrote the Doctor history. Yes, they did. And they could end up messing up my love of Tennant with bad script and writing. His acting will be great either way. Yes, but hopefully, let's say it's Russell T Davies. Hopefully he's going to do the right thing. But we will see, won't we? Not long to wait now. A month, just over a month. Then we'll see. We'll see what happens. Right. Back to Han Solo. Han Solo's supposed to die in a different movie, not The Force Awakens. Right. Here's something that will come as no surprise to anyone who's watched the Star Wars prequels. George Lucas altered the plot of Return of the Jedi to sell more toys. Here's something that probably will be a surprise, though. Doing so might have made it a better movie. Right. In an old... there's... thing. There's... I forgot his bloody name now. Rex. It's supposed to be Rex, isn't it, that? The bearded rebel soldier. Obviously, not supposed to be, but They've retconned it, haven't they? This is like a retcon that I thought were quite good. Retconned him into being Captain Rex. Anyway, in an old interview with the LA Times, producer, the late Gary Kurtz, revealed that the original idea was that they would recover Han Solo in the early part of the story, and that he would then die in the middle part of the film in a raid on an Imperial base. Presumably that's the Imperial base on Endor, where Han, Leia, Chewie, R2-D2 and C-3PO are saved by the Ewoks in a massive battle with Imperial stormtroopers. But that didn't happen, did it? Because Gary Kurtz had a big falling out with George Lucas, didn't he? And had nothing to do with Return of the Jedi. A Rex con, yes. Oh dear. And there's Luke taking off Darth Vader's helmet and just showing him with his harmonica. You've seen that YouTube video. Very funny. After Han's death, the movie would have ended with Luke walking off into the distance, bitter and alone, a Clint Eastwood-style loner. Princess Leia would have gone off to struggle to deal with new responsibilities. The Luke ending sounds great. No, I don't. But struggling with her new responsibilities smacks of all the political slog in the prequels, which no one cared about and just didn't work. Yeah, well, there's a Han Solo toy. It was only because Lucasfilm wanted to sell more Han Solo toys that Harrison Ford's character was not killed off in Return of the Jedi. And there he is in his carbonite. Ultimately, killing off Han in Return of the Jedi would have ruined the movie. You can't bring a character back from the dead at the beginning of a movie only to kill him off 30 minutes later. He could if he wanted. Han has just survived being frozen alive, unfrozen, and then subsequently fed to a Sarlacc, or potentially. Now he's going to die in a raid. Sorry, that doesn't work. The movie ends with Han and Leia together. Their relationship is something that builds throughout all three films. Having them together at the end is the payoff. It gives the series emotion and heart, something that, by the way, was missing entirely in the prequels. Not necessarily. Maybe Lucas changed Return of the Jedi for the wrong reasons, but it was the right move. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Also, the Millennium Falcon was supposed to be destroyed. I think it's actually stayed in the script. I'm sure if you look at the scripts that you can see online, the Millennium Falcon it blows up as it's trying to come out of the Death Star, and it's all blowing up around it, and it gets destroyed. But then, sort of like a couple of scenes later, it's back again. They obviously forgot to take out that little bit, but luckily they noticed, and it didn't get blown up in the film. Anyway, ultimately, Han Solo was killed off in Star Wars. It just took a few decades. But is he dead? We didn't see him die, did we? Still alive, wasn't he? When he fell off that bridge, we didn't see what happened to his body. He could have ended up where, what's his face? Darth Maul was. I mean, people fall in Star Wars and survived, don't they? Darth Maul fell and survived. Palpatine fell and survived. Luke fell and survived. So maybe Han Solo's still alive. Hashtag Solo lives. Anyway, ultimately, Han Solo was potentially killed off in Star Wars. It just took a few decades. He meets his end at the hands of his own son in Star Wars The Force Awakens. Or did he? Get run through with those lightsabers? No, is it? It's nothing. Back to patch on, you're sorted. You're sorted. Anyway, let's move on. Staying with Return of the Jedi. With Carrie Fisher, the late Carrie Fisher. How Carrie Fisher tried to change Return of the Jedi's Jabba scene. And there she is with Jabba in the background. Although it's now seen as episode 6 in an ever-expanding multimedia saga, 1983's Return of the Jedi, when it was made and first released, was considered to be the grand conclusion to the Star Wars original trilogy. As such, there is a wealth of material there to mull over within the film, material that's only becoming more interesting since the movie was released. Take the opening act, for instance, set in and around the Hutt gangster, Jabba's sail barge, and the rescue of Han Solo, Harrison Ford, from it via an intricate multi-step plan, seemingly known only to Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill. Jabba's penchant for capturing an attractive female of any species, chaining her to himself and using her for his amusement is appropriate for such a literally slimy character, yet becomes problematic when he does it to Princess Leia Organa, Carrie Fisher. I still want to know why she's a princess. I suppose it explains it in the expanded universe, whatever, but Bail Organa's just a senator, isn't he? He's not a king, or is he? Is Leah's adoptive mother, a queen on Alderaan? I don't know. Maybe she is. But I think that's why he made Amidala a queen, George Lucas, because he had a brain fart and thought, oh, if she's a princess, Leia, her mother must have been a queen. So he made Queen, Padme Amidala a queen, even though it didn't make any sense whatsoever. Anyway. A democratically elected queen of the Naboo. Because Padme was a queen, even though nobody was supposed to know. I mean, everybody knew. Did everybody know she was Queen Padme Amidala? I mean, didn't when she did TV interviews or whatever, or articles in the thing, did it say Queen Padme Amidala? But yet, she just, I don't know. Was she just Queen Amidala? They didn't know her first name because they were calling her Padme, the handmaiden, weren't they? So I don't know. Because her father was Freddie Mercury. Anyway, where were we? Yes, like most subtextual issues in media, this is a matter of optics, even though the strong independent Leia is sexualized by being made to wear a revealing bikini as Jabba's slave, a factor not helped by decades of nerdy straight men fetishizing Fisher's outfit. What are you talking about? Decades of nerdy men, but at the time, there weren't, was there? See, who wrote this? Bill Breer, trying to be, a feminist. It makes enough narrative and thematic sense to be justified, especially as Leia turns the tables on old Jabba by the end of the set piece. She throttles him with his own chain and potentially uses the Force. I think it says that in the book, in the novelization. I think she does use the Force. She, gets strength or whatever from somewhere to kill him. Decades of women wearing this costume to Comic-Con is irrelevant to the article, though. Well, yeah, that's it. But anyway. Fisher's issue with the sequence has more to do with the response, pointedly, the lack of it, by Leah's friends and the love of her life, Anne. What do I say Anne for? Han. When confronted with her new status as Jabba's slave. A screenwriter, author, and script doctor in her own right, Fisher attempted to address this issue on set, and if the filmmakers had listened to her suggestion, it could have been resolved with one mere line of dialogue. I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know what they're on about. We'll see. Let's keep reading. In defense of director Richard Marquand, the screenwriters Lawrence Kasdan and George Lucas, the entire Jabba the Hutt sequence features a lot of moving parts and plotting. So much is going on, in fact, that there are multiple essays devoted to breaking down exactly what Luke's rescue plan was. Even Leia's introduction into the film sees her in disguise as a totally different character, the bounty hunter known as Boosh. After every core member of the Millennium Falcon crew is present at Jabba's palace and subsequently captured, or in Leia's case enslaved, Han, Luke and Chewie are brought before the Hutt, while Lando Calrissian Billy D. Williams lurks nearby in disguise, but keeps pulling his thing down so he sees him. Not wanting to blow his cover yet. Thus, Jabba and his new droid, C-3PO, it's backstabbing bloody thing. It'll just work for anybody with 3PO, won't it? He doesn't care. Does most of the talking, telling the captors about their impending death in the Sarlacc pit. Han, who happens to be temporarily blind, got hibernation sickness, and Leia only have time to exchange the briefest of words, with Leia confirming she's alive and present. She goes, "I'm here," or whatever. That brief confirmation is Leia's only spoken dialogue during the scene, although Luke and Han have a few short, pithy barbs to shoot in Jabba's direction. It's more than Leia gets, more than she deserves, as she's continually yanked against Jabba's side throughout the scene. I'm only kidding, by the way. The intention is to give the audience the sense of certain doom for our heroes as we see them get captured one by one, which it turns out is all part of Luke's plan. But neither Jabba nor a first-time viewer knows this, and Leia's subjugation by the Hutt seems to be part of this. I don't know if it's part of Luke's plan, but he probably, accounted for it, didn't he? Probably accounted for it, for them all getting captured. But he'd probably have preferred if they hadn't. It's likely for these reasons why Leia was kept mostly silent during the scene, despite Fisher's suggestion. Well, what were the suggestions? Is it going to tell us? To be clear, there's nothing objectively wrong with the scene as presented. It serves the functions that the filmmakers clearly wanted it to serve, as it increases the dramatic stakes of the sequence and gives the viewer the impression that our heroes are really in trouble this time, yet it doesn't serve each character in the best, truest way possible, especially in Leia's case. She killed him. She don't have to talk. Her actions, spoke for themselves, didn't they? Fisher's sensibilities as a well-regarded script doctor were already emerging by this point in her career, especially the fact that a script doctor doesn't necessarily tear apart what's already been written, but instead can enrich it. As I said, though, she didn't have to speak so much. She killed the bad guy. Luke didn't kill Jabba. Han Solo didn't kill Jabba. Princess Leia killed Jabba. I forgot where I was now. I'll start again. Fisher's sensibilities as a well-regarded script doctor were already emerging by this point in her career, especially the fact that a script doctor doesn't necessarily tear apart what's already been written, but instead can enrich it. In an interview she gave to Chris Spitali, don't know, for Star Wars Insider magazine, archived in the 2017 compilation book Star Wars Insider Icons of the Galaxy, she explained the small one line of dialogue or change she wanted to make to enhance the scene. Right? Quote, "I would have given myself, as I tried to do, dialogue when I was with Jabba the Hutt. As my co-travelers Luke, Han and Chewie are walking away, I wanted to say, don't worry about me, I'll be fine, seriously." Yeah, and that had made all the difference, would it? Yeah, great. Great script doctor in there, Carrie. Not only would this line have given Leia her due in the scene, we knew she was going to be okay. It's Princess Leia. We know she's fine, thereby keeping her character's strength intact. It would also have foreshadowed her eventual triumph over Jabba without telling the audience exactly how that would happen. Thus, her choking the Hutt with his own chain would still come as a surprise. Yeah, but if they foreshadow it, it wouldn't, would it? Especially with the setup of Jabba's earlier slave girl trying and failing the same maneuver. But she used the Force, didn't she, Leia? But carry an even bigger emotional payoff. Sure, not every suggestion by an actor is appropriate, and no script doctor is right all the time. But when that script doctor is of Carrie Fisher's caliber, filmmakers should listen up. It don't matter. Either with or without, that line, "Don't worry about me, I'll be fine," seriously. It didn't, inconsequential. It'd have been fine with or without. But, the knew she were going to be fine. At least I presume they did. Anyway, so there we go. So she wanted a line, basically. But she got a line. She said, "I'm here." They'll write an article about anything these days. This, they will, won't they? But the title caught my eye. Right, we'll move on. Something's buzzing somewhere. Oh, it's my little hard drive that's down here. I've got a hard drive. It's the hard drive out of my old computer. It's like a 5 terabyte hard drive, and I thought I wanted to save that. So I took it out of my old computer, and I bought what they call it, a case for it. You know, can just plug it in to USB, and it's buzzing for some reason. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, it's stopped now. Just the case that's buzzing. Anyway, let's move on. What's next? Oh, we're nearly done. We've only two more. One more story, and then a spooky video. This next one's about Axanar. Remember that? Remember Axanar? Oh, hang on. Before we start, Joss Temple. She might have pulled off saying that with her attitude, but she'll always be remembered for not speaking, but looking stunning and killing the bad guy in a slave costume. Exactly. And stabbing a little person in the head with her high heels when she stood on Jabba's tail. The little fella operating the tail. It went right in his head, did her high heels, apparently. But yeah. I say it was her that killed Jabba. It wasn't Luke. It wasn't Han. It wasn't Chewie. Or any of the other men. Jabba the Hutt was killed by a woman. So Return of the Jedi was woke. Don't watch it again. Right, next up. This one's from Plagiarism Today. I'm not kidding. That's where it's from. But Axanar creator faces new legal threat. Right. Star Trek fan film creator Alec Peters, fan film creator and Robert Marbonnett's best friend, sarcasm, Alec Peters is facing yet another legal challenge as Paramount Pictures and CBS have filed a petition in a Los Angeles court seeking confirmation of a $292,000 arbitration award against him and his production company. Yes, 'twas beauty killed the beast. Yes, it was. And the chain and the force and the sail barge exploding. So he'd have died anyway. Peters rose to fame in July 2014 when he, along with director Christian Gossett and editor Robert Marbonnet, debuted a short film entitled Star Trek Prelude to Axanar. Describing the work as an independent Star Trek film, the 21-minute video was shot in documentary style and detailed a war between the Federation and the Klingons from before the events of Star Trek, the original series, and it was really good. The film had been funded through Kickstarter, where it had raised some $101,000 in funds. On the back of that success, Peters launched another crowdfunding campaign. The goal this time was to make a feature-length fan film based on the events. Between Kickstarter and Indiegogo, this new film, simply entitled Axanar, raised over $1.1 million in funding. And then I think Alec Peters kind of went potty over, just thought, I've got $1 million. And he still hasn't done anything, has he? He's been building all these sets and, and doing videos on YouTube about the sets that they're building and all this stuff. And they're still not released, anything, has he? And it was because of Axanar that now we don't get decent Star Trek fan films because of Alec Peters. Anyway, however, in December 2015, after the film was funded and moving into pre-production, Paramount and CBS filed a lawsuit against Peters, alleging copyright infringement. In June 2016, while the case was ongoing, Paramount and CBS released guidelines for fan Star Trek creations. It limited fan video creations to just 2 15-minute segments, placing severe restrictions on funding and limiting how the Star Trek name could be used. Those changes were unpopular with many fans and also endangered many ongoing fan projects. We'll always have Star Trek. Have I seen that one? I can't remember. It rings a bell. Where were we? In January 2017, following several key decisions in favour of CBS and Paramount, Peters opted to settle the case. The settlement allowed Axanar to move forward, but under the new fan film guidelines. Luckily, Star Trek Continues sort of like snuck in under the wire, didn't it, and managed to finish off its series, thankfully. However, in their new filing, CBS and Paramount alleged that Peters flouted the agreement almost from day one. Not only did he continue to raise funds, despite promises that he wouldn't, he also is alleged to have continued to use Star Trek branding, offer Star Trek branded merchandise, and even drawing a salary. Because of these alleged violations, CBS and Paramount filed a petition for arbitration in May 2022. Part of the settlement was that any disagreements or breaches of the settlement agreement would be handled through arbitration. That is why CBS and Paramount went that path, and why Peters' unsuccessful counterclaims were heard there as well. In September 2023, the arbitrators reached their final arbitration award, which found that Peters had violated the terms of the settlement and awarded CBS and Paramount $292,372.54. Sure, that's important, in costs. That in turn prompted the filing with the court in Los Angeles. That's a PDF, it says there, where CBS and Paramount are hoping that the court will confirm the award and compel Peters and Axanar Productions, Inc. to pay the amount. As of this writing, neither the original planned Axanar movie nor the two 15-minute segments have been released, because he's just not doing anything about it, is he? They should just let him finish and put the thing on Paramount. They need content. I think the reason they got up in arms about it, CBS at the time, is because they were planning Discovery, weren't they, which was its own like pre-original series with a Klingon war in it. That's why they didn't want Axanar stealing their thunder. But anyway. The case is an interesting microcosm of the challenges large creators and rights holders are facing when it comes to fan creation. The landscape of fan fiction, fan art, and fan film has changed drastically in just the last 15 years, and companies like CBS and Paramount are struggling to find the right balance. Simply put, the fan fiction climate today is not the same that existed 15 or 20 years ago. Oh, they're a dry mouth. For much of recent history, creators, with some exceptions, have largely tolerated non-commercial fan creations and fan projects. The reason is simple. Though they might technically be copyright infringements, they don't particularly harm creators and can help keep the fan community engaged. Exactly. Perhaps most importantly, almost no one wants to go to war against their fans. They do these days. However, in recent years, fan fiction has become more and more commercialised. Many big-name authors, including E.L. James and Cassandra Clare, got their start in fan fiction communities. Fan art is routinely sold on sites like Etsy, either directly or on other items. Well, famously, Baby Yoda, loads of Baby Yoda plushies and stuff were being sold on Etsy because Lucasfilm had the fingers up the bums, didn't they, and didn't get Baby Yoda merchandise out. So fans made their own and made some money off it, and good for them. Good for them. Anyway, and the lines between commercial and non-commercial fan creations have become blurrier as time has passed. To that end, perhaps the biggest change was the rise of crowdfunding. Now it is possible for fan creators to raise large sums of money for non-profit projects such as the Axanar films, where in 2010 the unspoken rule was that most fan art was tolerated as long as it wasn't commercialised. The space has gotten significantly more complicated, and that's left companies like CBS and Paramount scrambling to draw and enforce boundaries in an ever-changing landscape. I think what happened with Axanar as well, though, didn't Alec Peters use the money to set up like a film studio, essentially? And they were saying they were going to use that studio to make stuff for other people, essentially rent out, his services, to other people, and so we're going to be making money off the equipment and stuff he'd bought to make this Star Trek fan film, and Paramount didn't like that, did they? Or something along those lines. There are no easy answers here, and if anything makes that clear, it's the way this case has gone so far. One thing that is pretty clear is that CBS and Paramount were not eager to file a lawsuit against Peters. Looking back at the original case, they didn't file a lawsuit after Prelude to Axanar was crowdfunded or released. That's in spite of the fact that Prelude to Axanar, if made today, would violate the stated rules for fan productions. CBS and Paramount only took action when the campaign for the Axanar film raised over $1 million and was being advertised as a professional and independent Star Trek production. Between the excessive fundraising, the use of Star Trek name and logos, and the presentation of the project, Peters had gone well beyond both legal and social norms around fan creations. CBS and Paramount likely felt they had no choice. This was seen in the settlement agreement between the parties. Though the case had been going in favour of CBS and Paramount, they reached a settlement that allowed the film to continue, albeit under some significant constraints. He built like a whole freaking company. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. For Peters, this was a sweetheart deal that, based upon his alleged actions, he didn't feel actually bound to. However, even as they documented instances of Peters allegedly breaching the agreement, CBS and Paramount ultimately waited over 5 years to even file for arbitration. Now, with the arbitration decision in hand, they are only seeking costs connected with the arbitration. Even then, the arbitrator found that the hourly rates are reasonable and even discounted when compared to similar lawyers in the Los Angeles area. So he's got off easy, basically. In short, CBS and Paramount have made it pretty clear they have no interest in going to legal war with fan productions. However, they simply feel that Peters has gone so far that they have no choice but to act. Even then, they are still working to minimize the damages Peters might owe. For CBS and Paramount, this is a dangerous case. A huge award could generate unwanted headlines about them going to war with fans of Star Trek. Cases often lose their nuance when large damage awards are discussed. Look what happened with the Blurred Lines case. I have no idea what that is, but there's a link there. Neither CBS nor Paramount want a reputation for suing their fans. That's likely why they are being so delicate in this case, even though their allegations paint a picture that normally would call for much more heavy-handed action. But being delicate in this case, but they weren't delicate when they were suing. Not suing. They were ruining. I forgot his name now. The fellow that was an Egyptian chap that essentially that Alex Kurtzman and co stole all his ideas for Star Trek Discovery. You know, tardigrades and all that, and even the characters, what they look like. From his game, he wrote a game, didn't he? Called Tardigrades. That had nothing to do with Star Trek, but the Anas, so like Abu Anas as well, something like that, isn't it? Yeah. But they won't be delicate then, were they? They essentially, I don't know what. I haven't checked on him, for a while. Has he been ruined by him? I don't know, but that's like $1 billion company going after this lowly Egyptian programmer. Anyway. This case neatly summarises. Say Gary from Nerdrotic covered it in the early days, didn't he, of Discovery and that. This case neatly summarises the challenges that creators and rights holders have when it comes to fan creations. Finding the balance between protecting one's intellectual property and not going to war with your fan base is a difficult one. Some authors, like Anne Rice, have famously thrown caution to the wind on that front. Rice had a reputation for suing and threatening all fan fiction authors, even those who only published non-commercially. However, even that has changed excuse me, following her passing, as creators of the recent Interview with the Vampire TV series actively encouraged fan fiction. Even Rice herself has warmed up at least some to fan fiction by the early 2010s. For creators, fan fiction and fan creations represent both an incredible opportunity for community engagement and an incredible risk in terms of how it can harm their intellectual property. Finding a balance. I forgot what I was. Finding a balance, communicating that balance clearly to fans, and then enforcing those boundaries is a difficult and nuanced task. Interview with the vampire. Yes, it is, isn't it? Yes, I would think what you put the for. What? But it's interview with the vampire, isn't it? Not a vampire. Yeah. Yes, you're right. Yes, sorry, I'd never even twigged. But yes, you win Grace at it again. Yes. I got there by myself for once. Anyway, to that end, CBS and Paramount have made it clear that they ain't itching for a legal fight with the creators of fan works. Countless other Star Trek fan works are being made every day. There's a really good one using the set in the Enterprise era. I think it's set during the Romulan War. And it tells us who the time travel shadowy man was, from the Temporal Cold War. And I can't remember what it was called. But it were pretty good. It was a pretty good fan film, that. And it were a feature-length one because it happened before all this it were made before all this kicked off. I can't remember what they called it now. But that was fun. It was in an NX class ship. I can't remember which one either. It wasn't the Enterprise and it wasn't the Columbia. I think it was a different one. Anyway, I forgot what I want now. Countless other Star Trek fan works are being made every day, and there's rarely even murmurs of legal action. Peters, it seems, is unique in that he pushed CBS and Paramount to do what they had previously most dreaded, file a lawsuit against their fan, and then go back to court to enforce the settlement. Regardless of the outcome in this case, it's clear that CBS and Paramount have cut Peters a great deal of slack and given him every opportunity to avoid litigation. It just seems they finally ran out of rope to give. Oh, very good. So there we go. So he's got to find nearly $300,000. He'll just do a what they call it, a GoFundMe. I didn't see that one. I went to a Comic-Con where Tim Russ screened his Renegades film. I thought that was a little bit overrated myself. They were okay, but I'll look it up, see if I can find it. That Star Trek fan film. I can't remember what it was called. Star Trek. I'll just type in Star Trek fan film to see if it pops up. And I'll go in the filters because it's a feature length one. I'll do the over 20 minutes ones. Did it? Not that one. Could be here a while, chaps. Is it that one? I think it's that one. It is. Yes, Star Trek Horizon. Sorry. Yes. Hour and 42 minutes. Let me double check. I'll just scroll through it. Yes, it is. Set on an NX class ship. And we find out who the shadowy man from the Temporal Cold War. Yes. Star Trek Horizon. Look it up. It's on YouTube. Of Gods and Men was Hook. It was fun to see Captain Harriman get more time to actually do something. I think I've seen that one. There's some good fan films out there, isn't there? And some not so good. But I've no room to talk. I can't make films. Right. So next. But yes, look up Star Trek Horizon. I forgot already. Star Trek Horizon. What I'll do, I'll just give you a little look. I'll just play a little bit, and then I'll turn the subtitles up. Let's find a bit. I'm just trying to find a bit that might look good. Or whatever. I'll just play it. Here we go.
Engineering, come in. Engineering, come in. We got company down here. Get a security team down there now. Help is on the way, but we need you to eject the warp plasma.
Etc. I'll find another bit.
I figured I should get in some shooting practice. If we're going to be redeployed, I'd have
Not
to...
you.
The same.
Whatever. So there we go. As I say, it's fun. It's a fun romp. I think it's nice. I think it's set during the Romulan War. Anyway, that's enough of that because we've got creepy stuff to watch because it's Spooktober. And what are you going to that for? Hang on. There we go. And it's Spooktober, so we're doing a spooky vid. I don't know if it's real or not. I don't know, but I like it. It's not a long one, so I'll just play it. This one's from Bizarre Bub. I mentioned him last time. But links in the description. Are you ready? I will mute my microphone.
Morales, Debbie, and her friends are tubing through a canal when they capture something creepy on camera. The video was taken on July 8th of 2018. But prior to this date, about 5 years ago, someone had drowned in the same canal that Morales is in. Little does she know that she and her friends would capture something disturbing. Take a look. It was only after posting the video on Facebook and being told by viewers about this that she noticed. Viewers think that this might have been the ghost of the victim who had drowned. Others think that this could have been something else, perhaps a creature. No one knows for sure, but it seems like more people believe that this might be the spirit of a deceased. But of course, what are your thoughts? Ghost or not?
Bloody muted. It could be anything, couldn't it? It could be a wig and a white dress being dragged along under the boat. It could be a dead body that were in the tunnel that then going through it has dislodged it and it's floating out after. I don't bloody know. Yes, I know I'm muted. I'm an idiot. I know. I'm not now. But let's go back again.
But it seems like more...
Get it. It is. Look. It's a funny and isn't it? It's a funny and is this? What are you supposed to play? There you go. Is it a spooky? Is it the ghost of a sort of drowned person? I don't know. I don't think it says, does it, where it was? To be honest, I thought it was America, but I could be wrong. I don't know. Or it might be, yeah. With the name that were on it, it could be like South America or Central America or Mexico, somewhere like that, couldn't it? But it's creepy. It's a creepy one. I do like that one. There's another one. There's a similar one as well, where they see a similar thing, something in the water. But also, there's another one with a hand, a spooky hand that comes up over the edge of the boat. That's briefly captured. Blink and you'll miss it. But anyway, so that's that. Right. So we'll leave it there. Right. So I'll remove that. Right, so that's the news for today. I'll try and remember to put the link for Star Trek Horizon in the description. Yes, harpoons for everyone. Josh and his harpoons. Can he harpoon a ghost? I don't know. Josh would have a go. He would. He'd have a go. Right, we'll leave it there. So, thanks, Windgrace. Thanks, Josh, for joining in and setting me right and telling me I'm muted and all that stuff. And the information that you give is invaluable. It certainly is. So we'll leave it there. What's up next? Friday. Oh, hang on. There's always a need and a yes, I would try for sure. Well, you never know, do you? You never know. Especially if it's iron. If it's an iron harpoon, it might damage the. They always say how iron works, don't they? On spirits. On an ectoplasmic harpoon. Have a great day, everyone. Great show. Yorkshire. Thanks, Josh. What am I going to say? Oh, my Friday is the Halloween episode of Friday Night Appointment with Fear. So we've got a double bill, trick or treat and trick or treat. So that could take a while. Then Sunday there'll be my Sunday news stream, and then Monday, when is it? We're doing that one. Nicolas Cage's Knowing, and then with other stuff as well. Right. So. Where are we? Let me get myself sorted. Right, so we'll leave it there. So thanks for watching. Wherever you are, look after each other, and until next time, I'll say the